at Metro Appliances and More. I am here with Adam Myers from Burnco Barbecue and our somewhat less hungry than before studio audience. What did we think of the meat food? Woo! Food that meat eats. We had a fantastic salad. I'm sorry, I thought it was delicious.
Thank you.
We had some field greens, some Danish blue cheese, otherwise known as skanky cheese in barbecue world.
Go.
Some Mimi's candy pecans.
Yeah.
And a great little Ziploc baggy vinaigrette, which is awesome. No, I'm serious though. That's awesome. Throw ingredients in there, zip it up, shake it. It's easy. And if you are hanging out grilling and barbecuing, it's really nice to keep things kind of simple, yes?
There you go.
I like it. And with that, we had a little blackjack porter from Left Hand.
It was awesome.
You know, blue cheese is one of the, okay, there are a lot of cheeses that I think pair way better with beer than wines. Skanky cheese is one of them.
That stuff was good. It really, really was. I don't think I've had that one before.
And I have to say major happy shout outs to Craig at Collins Midtown Liquor for the selection of that porter.
Amen.
Thanks, dude. That was well played, my friend. And now we've got, speaking of cheese, in its gorgeousness, we've got some more coming. Talk to me.
We do. On our quest to make awesome things in our fancy Thermador kitchen here, we decided to go with lasagna. Since Craig and I both make the best lasagna in the world, it had to be a collaborative lasagna.
You didn't want like a lasagna throwdown?
Well, the problem is that I always win, so it's not so much fun. Yeah, so.
And you gotta have a butcher.
There we go. So we work together, right? That's how we do things. So we compromised on some things. The meat sauce is Craigie's. I think it's his mother-in-law's recipe, actually.
Get it right, because that's a credit that you do not want to mess up.
I know. It's the mother-in-law. It is Craig Coos's mother-in-law's red sauce recipe. And we had a conversation a couple of days ago about it. And we were talking about the red sauce. And I was saying, well, to me it needs to be a little sweet, but it needs to have good garlic. And we were going back and forth. And he said, I'm just going to bring some. You just try it. Okay, fine. I tried it. I think after the 5th spoonful of cold red sauce, I said, that's the stuff, Craig. Just bring a bunch of that and we'll make it up. So Craigie made the red sauce from scratch, but it has his custom ground beef in it. In the meat market, where we shackle Craig down and make him do all of his work, one of his jobs is to make ground beef. And as we all know, beef prices are really, really high right now. And at most grocery stores, you can pay a fortune for not really good ground beef. And Craigie does killer ground beef, and he does it, I believe, with top sirloin or chuck. Or some kind of weird neck roll or something. I don't know, weird parts of the cow that I've never even heard of before. But the cool thing is that he uses the parts
that apparently you don't throw at fire.
Yes, the parts that are too expensive for us to do our thing with. He turns into ground beef, but he uses some of the fat from our strip steaks and from our ribeye steaks, and sometimes from our brisket to get it that good 80-20 mix.
Which is exactly why you want to buy your ground beef from a butcher who does.
Because you actually know what's in it.
Well, you do know what's in it, and also they're going to have the scraps of the good stuff.
The scraps
that
of
they're
the
going
good
to use
stuff
to make sure you've got a really high quality.
And that's what it is it's got really good flavor in it. It's not just the scraps off the floor that they threw in a hopper and turned into ground beef and shoved in a tube for you. I mean, Craigie actually does the work, and yeah, you know what it's like, right? So he did ground beef in the red sauce. We boiled up some noodles. We used please don't beat me for this, cottage cheese instead of ricotta cheese. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Did you use the full fat kind?
Yeah, of course, 100%. There we go. All right, we're still friends. Woo! But it's kind of like the non-cheese winch way to do it, right? Like the lame guy's way to do it. But I still
Add
think
the
it's
word
pretty
cheese
legit.
in it, and it's a full-fat curdled dairy
It's the real deal, Holyfield.
We're
Okay.
good.
And after the olives in there, but the thing we could definitely agree on was the amount of brown crusty cheese.
And that is why we will always be friends.
That's the brown crusty cheese. We were just talking about how things, whether they be meat or vegetable or cheese, the point right before they burn, it seemed to be the most awesome. Like, I don't know what that is, right? Well, right before things burn is where they're the most awesome.
It's very Phantom Mother. It's almost past the point of no return.
It truly is.
When I can make Broadway references to my mother, like I stay in the will.
Well, I was very pleased because I left Craig alone with these in the fancy in the convection oven, and he said, "Hey, I think they look great." And I walked over there, expecting them to not be totally awesome, and it's all I can do to not start picking at that cheese right there because it looks really good.
Craig,
Yeah.
I'm all choked up at the continuation of your bromance here. You kept his cheese going, man.
Got the cheese righteous. So and with this really heavy lasagna, we want to do some simple grilled veg. So it's both green and yellow zucchini squash, a little bit of purple and white onion in there. We throw in and pretty peppers too. For me, it's not. Food has to do three things. It has to look good, it has to sound good, and it has to taste good. If it does all three of those things, there's a good chance you're not going to suck at what you're doing.
You know, that's good theory, dude.
So there we go.
I'll keep rolling with that.
So we add some pretty peppers too in there to give it some good color. I think the lighterness of it is still a Greek seasoning. It's got heavy garlic, it's got heavy onion and heavy pepper, but you need something that's not meat and cheese to soak up the juice from the meat and cheese, right?
All right, we're gonna ponder that point, and if we think he's completely lost it. But what do you think? Maybe we taste this in the meantime.
Yes.
All right, stick with us. We're gonna ponder whether you actually need something that's not meat and cheese for any reason. Oh, wait, beer is not meat and cheese. We've got some of that too, so stick around for more Tasting Oklahoma, and you'll hear about that when we come back.